So now I'm going to show you what I've done. Actually, I have used one of these boxes. I have cut open the box entirely and used the larger sides to form the cover of this kind of a journal. Now, as I said, I've kept these two sides because I will probably be making tags out of it, or maybe make some pockets. So these are going to be the bases, or the front and the back cover of the accordion style hardcover, sort of semi hardcover journal that I'll be creating. So I will not so here is a little pocket that I've created with a picture of a girl. This is probably the two pieces, and the rest of the two pieces I will show you what I've done to those also. I'm just going to adhere them together with the help of fabric spine. So here I have an 1.5 inch, this is not an 1.5 inch, probably an 1.25 inch with length muslin, which I'm going to be using as the spine. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to adhere that on both the sides, and then I'll show you how I will be adding extra effect to it. Now I want that image with the flower and the girl as the front cover, so I will obviously add like this. So this is an 1.25 inch wide muslin fabric that I have, and I'll be using that as the spine. So I'm just going to glue a little bit so that at least it sticks a little while I'll be able to stitch along that line. I like to stitch the fabric spines also, because that way I know that they are going to be pretty sturdy and will not be going anywhere. So I'm just adhering this part very carefully, of course, and I'm just trying to straighten this part up, because it was a little bit crumpled, and probably I should have ironed it a little bit, but anyways it worked out fine at the end. So so that was okay by me. So that's the first layer that I've done, and now I'll just turn this over, and before that I'm just going to glue this side also. And lay down this fabric. So while lining the second or the back cover, I have to be extra careful so that they are perfectly lined and they are at the same height. So I am trying to figure out the height of the covers so that they match up properly. Otherwise one might be a little bit at the top and the other a little bit just slide a little bit from the bottom part. So I'm just trying to make sure, and then when I've done this part, what I usually do is I try to turn that over, because this gives me a better vision of the covers and how they have been lined up. So I totally agree that I have done most of the part off camera, but this is no rocket science. I've just turned the folds that were already there in the packaging itself. I will show you in the second part where I will be creating 2 more covers. So this is going to go on top, and I'm going to be gluing this down. But before that, I will show you what I do usually to add more texture to the spine. So what I do is before I line this up, I will sandwich a layer of meshed fabric sort of thing. So I'll just show you what I mean by that. So I have this fabric which is kind of very meshy. It's not cheesecloth basically, but It is absolutely meshed fabric, you can say, and I'm just going to take a little bit from that and line the inside. Actually, I want to sandwich one layer of that cheesecloth fabric sort of thing, between the two muslin layers, so that would give me more texture on the spine, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to slice this in half and then use that. So this will also give a little bit more strength to the spine, because the two pieces of fabric will hold better. You know, the spine will be more sturdier as if we do it this way. And I have not yet stitched anything down. I'm just going to glue a little bit so that after it dries, it's easier for me to sew. So I'm just putting some glue in between the two covers, actually on the spine itself, and then I'm going to layer this cheesecloth. So this is another trick that I usually do to add texture to the spines, and then I'm going to lay the muslin down, and the muslin is obviously going to be glued not only in the center between the two covers, but also on the sides, because I will have to stitch along the sides. So I know my voice sounds very heavy, but that's because it's pretty late at night when I'm recording this. I couldn't sleep. I have the sleep issues. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that. And since I couldn't sleep, I thought, let me complete the voiceover so that I can upload this video and also show you the next part where I will adhere the next two pieces, so that they form the accordion part. So now it is dried, and also I have stitched the spine. I just need to take off the threads, and look how pretty it's already looking. It has kind of character. You can keep it as it is. It's a tiny booklet sort of thing, but I am going to be using another of these boxes to make the other two covers that are going to be the accordion, because this is going to be an accordion journal, hardcover journal. This is going to be a mini one, so I will use only 4 pieces of cover so that I can accommodate 3 signatures inside. You can add more than 1 signature on the spine. I just wanted to see if I can add something there, but I thought it needed something. I was not sure what it was, so probably I will go with this turquoise butterflies, and it instantly gives a pop to the cover. So I'm going to stick with that, and I'm not going to glue them right away. So these basically come towards the end of the journal. I'm going to keep them inside this pocket so that I don't forget or lose or anything of that sort. So I will probably add something on this pocket also, and stencil or stamp or something of that sort. Not decided anything yet, so I will work on the pockets and show you how they look basically. So the pockets, the spine is around 3/4 of an inch wide. So if you want, you can add 2 signatures, but I think personally I would prefer 1 signature, because there will be enough room for the user to add things in, and once you start putting in the pockets and the ephemera in, they tend to fill out more. So it is wiser to keep enough space in the signature itself. So that's how it's looking right now. So I'm going to be working on the next 2 sets of covers. I'll be covering them with some collage papers, and I also wanted to add something at the back, but I didn't know what was missing, so I kept on trying, thinking that it might work. So this was actually a pocket, and I just wanted to use a little pop of color would have helped, I thought. And so I kept on trying things, digging out from my die cut box and stuff like that, but somehow I was not happy with whatever I was bringing out. So I kept on trying, I kept on bringing out things to see whichever would work, and then that's what I'm doing here. But this also looked very cluttered because the space was very limited, but I also wanted something of a little bit color, so I kept on wondering what to use. Also, I did not want to use any butterflies anymore because it already has 2 butterflies on the cover, and I do not want to use too many butterflies right away. So I thought of using this floral accent, but then I was not sure about that also, so I kept on looking for more options, and I found this one. So I think this is looking better, or perhaps this is looking better. I was in 2 minds, but I think I'm going to go with this, a flower basket sort of thing where it has flowers and also a little touch of blue, because the front cover also has 2 turquoise butterflies, so maybe bringing in the blue color would look better. So again, I'm switching things up. I'm kind of not satisfied with what I should put on, and also I wanted something in blue, so I think I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to glue that on the back, just a little bit on the pocket, but most of it is going to be hanging outside the pocket. So you'll see what I mean by that. And I'm also going to add a little bit of accent washi tape. So this is going to go on top. This is a washi tape from Tim Holtz. He had come out with these washi tapes a while back, I think about 5 to 6 years back, and at that time I was pretty crazy. I still am, but at that point of time I was pretty crazy about using them in my own journals, the ones that I wrote into, and I had a ton of these, nowadays I seem to use them very little because I know I won't be able to acquire them anymore probably, and so I use them sparingly. So that's going to be used at the back, and now I'm going to create 2 more covers. So keep watching how I create these covers. Again, I'm going to be using this box, the one that I've used, 2 of the larger sides I've used a mini journal using these packaging, and the first 2 covers have been done. So I did film bits and pieces of this, not everything, but this the next 2 covers I'm going to film because this was totally unplanned. I was just trying out a few things using these those packaging. So what I did was I just cut them down, and I'm going to cover these and do a little bit of collage, because each of the front part of the cover might be there's no end or beginning, or it's like a everlasting or forever kind of journal. So you will get to see all of it except the inside ones. So I'm going to be covering these, and then I'm add this fabric as I've done in this one, and then we will attach these 2 to the one that I've done. So let's start this process. So what I'll be using is I'll be using some neutral papers, And also, okay, so these are some papers I am currently using. So what I'm doing is I'll cover this, okay, and it already has a very collagey kind of look. If you want, you can add something to it also, but I will not be using that. I will just stick to the collage sheets that these are. Just a second, let me put this aside. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just I'm filming this on a Saturday, and Saturdays somehow Saturdays are my busiest. So I'm going to be covering this up again. I don't want this to be upside down, but so if I place it here, just a second, if I place it here, then so it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So we can do one thing. We can cover this like so. So this basically does not have any beginning or end. Let me show you one whole piece. This is going to come to my shop. I'm working on it. Again, some collage sheets. They have a more blush tone to it, and this is actually the sheet. I have used part of it. This one, I have used a part of this part from this sheet, so I'm going to be using up this to cover this entire thing. So I can either use it this way, so that way I get to keep this writing. If it is sideways, it doesn't bother me, but if it is upside down, it does bother me a little. But if it bothers me a lot, then I tend to cover that up, So okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to cover this. I'm going to put some glue on this cover, and then I'm going to cover that. Again, my glue refuses to come out. Even though I'm gluing this, I will be stitching the perimeter. So this is a very easy project. You can just putting down some random papers. Of course, if you want, you can have a theme going around, but you can totally skip the theme part also. So I'm going to be putting this glue first, and then I don't know, like, it doesn't look enough, but again I have to use my fingers. Yes, one of my least favorite thing to do when I'm making a journal, but what to do, this is a very essential part. I cannot skip this part. Oh my god, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but if you do, then please comment below. I can find solace in the fact that, okay, I'm not alone. So I know this part is showing through, but I'm going to cover that up eventually. So I'm going to be cutting this down, okay, and you can use any size packaging. I'll just give you a measurement of this package so that you'll have an idea. This is around 3 3 3/4 by 5 inches, around 5 inches. So this is how, because these are the flaps. If I wanted to cut this down, I could have, but I didn't want to make it any smaller. So I'm just taking this off, and so this is going to be the front, another cover, not the front or the back. There's something as front and back, and I can definitely use some like this. This is from Pink Monarch. I really love Anna's kits, most of her kits, especially the ones that I have. Okay, so I can use that, but let's see what we can do. So the first part is done, that is covering this, and now what we can do is cover this part. So for this part, I think I'll have to dig into some other paper, like a full sheet, or if I use this, then I probably won't be able to cover the entire part, so that's fine. So what I'll do, I'll cover whatever is possible from this, or I can simply, I'll simply take another piece. This one is a little bit different with little stamps here and there, so it has another layer to it. So these are all trial papers. I just printed them out even before I, just a minute, I had another one, this one. So this is another sheet. I really like how this turned out, so probably this is going to come in September. But for September, I have my sunflower kit coming, so that's going to be a huge kit. I have been working on it for ages, and now so let's cover the back with this. I think I'm going to go with this. So I will cover this much, and then there has been a smudging of an ink because the paper was a little bit you know, it got folded when it was delivered, and you know, whenever I use that set of paper where it is curled a little bit at the edge, it does this. So I tend to use these up in collages or in some other projects. So what I'll do is I'll just cover as much as possible with this, and then I'm going to cover that with some other paper. Let's see what happens. So, or I can use this longitudinally. Okay, that can be done too, but I think I'm going to go with this side. So there is this butterfly I like, very subtle, so I'm going to trim this off. So I don't know if you people would get bored watching this, but whenever I'm putting my videos on music, putting some sort of a music, I'm having issues with YouTube. I don't know, that's really annoying. Okay, so that's done, and I'm going to be fast forwarding the video from here on. I will probably do a voiceover, or I'll speak through the process, but the process will be a little bit sped up because I don't think there's any explanation needed right at this point. So the first thing is I'm going to glue these up and show you how things are going to go. Okay, so keep watching, don't go anywhere. This video is going to be sped up. So here I'll be creating 2 of the more covers that I'll be adding to the accordion journal that I'll be creating. So I'm just gluing the papers down. So these papers are called Vintage Blush, and they are available on my Ko-fi shop. So if anybody is interested, they can hop on to my Ko-fi shop link that's provided in the description box. They actually come in a set of 5 set of papers. They're mostly in pinkish tones and blush tones. So this set is called Vintage Blush. So I'm just using that paper because I thought of trying it out and see how it looks, and I've also used that on the other 2 covers That was when I was trying out these papers and they came out so well. So this is called Vintage Blush, and basically the process is very simple. I'm just going to cover up the the pieces that I have chosen to be the base of the cover, and just trim the sides and work on them. And towards the end I'll explain what I have plans for this kind of journal. And if you're interested in making one like this one using cracker boxes or cereal boxes, you can make use of them. You don't have to have this particular size, but the size is very suitable. It gets done very quickly, and that was one of the reasons why I had chosen this size. This comes down to around 4 by 6 kind of size, and I like that size a lot. So that was one of the reasons that had drawn me towards this this coffee box sort of thing. I'm going to add more paper to the the yellowish space that I have, and I'm not worried if it doesn't stick down absolutely perfectly, because I am going to stitch at the end of the day, so automatically everything is going to be secured very well. Right now I'm just covering this part up, and I'm going to trim this down, and I have this plan of making this into a kind of having a policy envelope kind of closure. So that is why I've kept both the flaps, and now I just need to figure out to have that tiny bit covered. So I had worked on this for a while, and then I had filmed this also, and I just needed to do the voiceover, and so it's pretty late at night, but I wanted to get this done and upload this. So I hope I'm able to upload this on the specified day that I had this in mind, that I'm going to be uploading this. So I am feeling very tired at this time, but what has to be done has to be done. So I hope you people like this video. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, and if you want to see more of these kind of videos, then please subscribe to my channel. And I would always appreciate your support if you support me through Ko-fi or support my shop in any way. So these are some scrap papers I had, which I'm going to be using up, covering the back of the journal covers, because probably I will do some kind of a staining or stenciling or stamping at the back. So even if, and these are not stark white, they have this creamish kind of look to them, so I like this color a lot. And I also try to print my printables on a creamish base, so that gives automatically it gives a kind of extra kind of oomph to your project, you can say. So I'm just adding that scrap piece, because as I said, I'm going to be stitching all around, so I'm not worried. These papers are not going to go anywhere. They will be pretty well secured, and I'm just trimming off the extra. So I really like how these papers have turned out. They are very, very suitable for any kind of project. You can make tags, pockets, use them as background covers, and even use them as as journal covers, as I have done. I'm just trying to smoothen out the glue, because since this is a very thick kind of cardboard, it naturally tries to not smoothen out. But if you're using a card or a scoring tool sort of thing, it helps to adhere better, spread the glue better, and also there will not be any bumps along the way, any spaces which have not been glued. So here I've done the same thing. I'm just cutting this out. This is another piece. As I said, I'm going to have 4 covers with 3 signatures, and this one is going to look like this. So I hope this is understandable. It's not rocket science. People have been doing this, so I'm going to be adhering these two, and in the next segment you will see that I will be decorating these covers. So probably I'll be adding like this, so they will open up like this, and then they will open up like this. So once I get to the end part, I will know how they will look. But this is going to be a smallish kind of accordion journal, not too big, but it will have its appeal in the vintage style. And so you must have seen here how I have covered these parts up. So here I have plans of attaching policy closure sort of thing, because I'm going to be putting in ephemera, and they're going to be tied with those those brad sort of thing. And here this is the other cover. So we'll do some collage or layering, you can say, on these covers, and then we're going to think about doing some sort of layering sort of thing on the pockets. So but that's going to come later on. So before we start off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off layering things. So okay, so one thing I have kept in mind is that since this cover is going to be attached on this side, so okay, I do not want to what do you call it, photography sort of thing lying very close to each other, because this is a pretty big it's not a small 2x2 or 1 inch by 1 inch photograph. This is a pretty long pocket sort of thing which has this face, and I don't want another picture on this side. Like, I'll just show you what I mean by this. So if I place something, I have different sizes actually. Sorry, my neighbor. Okay, so just let me show you. So I have this image, and if I place it next to this, because when you open this, you won't be able to see them side by side because there's going to be a signature in between. But still, I don't want to put another picture here probably. I don't want to do that, but let's see what happens. I have in mind of putting these like this one. This is like a number label-y sort of thing, because I want to bring out a little bit of blue also, because you can see how I've added blue accents. So I'm going to be adding this blue floral. This is from the blue flower fussy cuts that I have in my shop. And also I'm going to be putting this butterfly over here. So just 3 things that I'm going to jazz this pocket with, just cover with, not more than 3, because this is a small expanse. I don't want to overcrowd things, but of course you can if you feel that it's not enough. But I always say sometimes less is more. You need to understand when you have to step away from your stuff and feel that okay, this is it. If I put too many stuff and layer, then it might look it might not look very natural. I want to give this just take off the stark white thingy, a little bit of branch, that's it, nothing more. So it's going to go in here, and then I have this, and then I'm going to put this. Okay, so I'm going to glue everything down, and then I'll show you the next what I'm planning on doing. So today I think we're going to end this part over here, whereby I'm going to let the glue dry, and in the next part I will show you that I've just I will be stitching off camera as usual, because you don't need to see the actual sewing, or hear the machine running. So I'm just going to take this, place it here. Okay, very simple. I'm using only 3 things, as I said before, and I don't want to overpower the the background, because as I said, sometimes it's necessary to step away. There's nothing wrong in using more than it is. There's no rule to it basically, but I personally like to keep it very simple, very appealing to your eyes. And you know what, I find that simplicity appeals to me more, more than putting a ton of things. It's just a personal preference. You don't have to feel the same way, and neither should you feel that I am wrong and you are right. It's not like that. Everything is right. There's no wrong in it. That's the fun part, and I can just take this off. Okay, and then I can put the butterfly over here. See how I'm trying to put them in one line, or I can simply put it here, but I think it's going to look nicer if I put it here. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. First line, second line, and third line. 1, 2, and then I'm going to put here 3, because they are going to be in a diagonal position. So you just get the hunch of doing things these way. If you've been working on collages for a while, you just develop sort of sense that okay, so this works best. So I'm just going to cover this. Okay, so that's it. So this is one of the covers, and here is going to be the pocket. So I'll stitch around it. I'm going to let this dry for a while, and then I'm going to show you what I mean to do on the other cover. So this is actually going to be the actual back cover of the journal as such. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this photograph. This is from my stash, printable, and then now you might be wondering, why am I not making these available in my shop? But the thing is that there's so many people have such lovely photography kind of kits. I just feel that maybe you don't need that much. So that's why maybe I will come up with something if I feel, but this is what I feel is necessary. So that's it. That's all I'm going to be using. So probably I will be moving this. I'm not sure. See how I move things around, and then I'm going to be putting this. Then probably I'll put this over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. And I don't know if I'm going to use another floral image. Probably I will, probably I won't. So I'm just going to ink these bits and pieces that I'll be using. Yes, I've not inked them also. So if you like this video till the end, then please don't forget to hit the like button. It would mean a lot to me. And if you like my videos, then please subscribe. That would also mean a lot to me. And if you want to support me through Ko-fi is it's like a donation sort of site, but you also get to choose get some freebies that I've attached there. So if you want, you can. So I'll just figure things out. If it looks nice, if it doesn't, then of course I'm not going to be using it. It's too big. So I'm going to be putting this, and then I'll put this. Okay, and then this is going to go here, and this is over here. I think I'm going to go with this. This is looking nice, but I want a smaller butterfly. I don't want this big. So I'm going to be changing my mind. Probably. Not sure. But let's see if I can change this butterfly to something like this. Yes, I'm going to go with that. Okay, so I'm going to glue these things up, and in the next part I'm going to show you how you can just attach these to the main cover. So that's going to take, that is a little bit tricky situation, but we'll handle that. So I'm just going to glue this down, and yes, I'm using this PVA glue because you know it's obviously sturdier than the glue stick, and it works nicely. So I'm going to be putting this a little bit at the top. I just want this butterfly to peek through a little bit, not much. So this is this, and I'm going to be putting this flower over here. And no, I'm not inking these because so I have plans of coming out with a few fussy cuts, you know, different kinds of fussy cuts, like suppose orchids. I have not seen anybody do that, so probably I'll come out with that. I don't know when I'll be able to do that. And but this one I need to trim a little bit more. This is also, I think this is from my I do have quite a few blue kits, and the next set of journals that I'll be doing are definitely going to be in blues, because I have so much of blue ephemera, blue collage sheets, you know, French themed blue kits. That's that I need to use up, or use rather. So yeah, so I'm going to be inking this part up. I hope. I'm just going to take off a little bit white parts. Okay, and I'm going to be placing this over here. It's looking nice. I can put a little bit of fabric at the bottom. Let's do that. See how things take their own shape, and you know, they kind of grow, you know, they sort of develop, because that's what I usually do. So I don't throw these away. I tend to use these a lot, so probably let's see. So I had some you know, gauzy kind of threads lying about. Yeah, got them. So that's why, you know, that's one of the reasons why my workspace is most of the times a mess, because I keep such you know, odd bits. Like, who keeps threads, you can think, but yes, I do, and I'm not ashamed to say that I do. And I'm going to be gluing this a little bit more with random so I'm going to be adding glue, and yes, so this is going to be on the cover, and I'm going to be attaching this. So this is all I'll need to do for the cover. Okay, so that's it, and I'm going to let this dry and then stitch. And also I need to put some closure over here that I can do, and then show you how I'm going to attach that. So that's going to be for the next part, where I'll show you how I'm going to attach these two covers with this one, and then, you know, now that's totally up to you. If you want, you can make this the front cover. This can be the front cover too, whatever. So I can attach that over here, and I can attach this one over here. So that can be another possibility. Let's see how things go. Okay, so bye everybody, have a great day and stay safe.